I get it. A lot of people talk about the real estate industry, but there's a lot of things that people don't really talk about in the real estate industry or just don't plain know. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the truth about being a real estate agent and what they don't actually tell you. The very first thing I want to talk about is that being a real estate agent, it can cost a lot of money and it can have no major payout for a long time or never at all. The reason being is that you're going to spend anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 to even get your license. And that's going to take anywhere from 1 to 4 to 6 months to start that process. If you take your classes online, it could take a while because it's at self-paced. I don't know about you, but for me, I had to take it in person. It was a week and a half, 8 hours a day. I got it over with. But if you take your class and then you sit for the state test, if you pass the first time, that can be anywhere from a month in to a month and a half. If you fail, you have to retake it in about 2 weeks or so. So as you can see, the time can get pushed back and back, depending if you take it online or you take it in person. Now you're going to spend anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 to even get your license, right? And when you get your license, it's not like this miracle happens that everybody starts calling you because now they trust you, and they think of you as a real estate agent. The truth is that a lot of people will not use you because they don't feel like you are the true professional. And that takes 6 months, 1 year, 2 years to build so that your sphere of influence, meaning your family, your friends, will actually start to use you. So are you ready to spend $2,000 to $4,000 and not make any return, anywhere from 3 to 6 to even a year later? Can you go all that time with making any return on your money? That's something that you need to answer for yourself. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Junior Francica. If you get any value from the channel or this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions that you would like me to touch on, go ahead and comment down below. With that being said, let's get back to today's video. The next thing is that there's a huge failing rate in real estate. I believe it's within 2 years, 87% of agents drop out completely from the business. And that's because it's way harder than people think it is. If you feel like something is hard, multiply that by 10 times, and that's what real estate is. It's super stressful. You can't come into this business with 9 to 5 mindset. You can't just show up at 9, kind of do whatever you want, maybe scroll on your phone for a couple hours, and then expect to be successful and build your business. This is the type of business that you're gonna have to lead generate either through video like this. You're gonna have to call people that you know, or cold call, or door knock, or many other aspects that you can do for lead generation. But it's not something that you're going to build by just sitting in your office or being on your laptop and waiting for people to reach out to you. And that's the one thing that makes people fail a lot, because the first time I started, I failed. After 10 months, I left the business, and it wasn't until a couple years later I came back and did things differently. I was expecting people to come to me, or that as soon as I get my license, somehow magically it's going to work out. And that's not the case. There's a huge fail and dropout rate, and that's something that you should know as well. Which kind of leads into the next point, which is you can't come into this business with a 9 to 5 mindset. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. You're not going to have somebody there to wake you up. If you stay past your bedtime and you wake up late, and you spent maybe an extra 2 to 3 hours sleeping, nobody's going to tell you, or nobody's going to complain on you. If you don't make those cold calls or those videos that you have to make to be able to build your business and lead generate, nobody's going to say anything. It's going to be on your shoulders, and a lot of people don't want that type of responsibility and actually don't even thrive in that type of responsibility. If that's you, you can definitely do things and put things into place to kind of alleviate that burden. But for the most part, it's all going to be your fault, whether you succeed or whether you fail. So just know that you can't bring that 9 to 5 employee mindset, because this is a entrepreneurial type of venture. The next point is that it's not the brokerage you join, it's you. I have recruited many people to join me at eXp Realty, and I tell everybody the same thing. Hey, I will help you. I will mentor you. I will guide you. We can put plans together, but at the end of the day, it's going to be on you. If you do not take the action, and if you do not implement the things we have discussed, you are not going to be successful. Whether you join eXp, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, so on and so forth. It doesn't matter if you do not put in the work. You cannot try to join a brokerage. I've had a friend that wanted to go to Keller Williams because he said, you know what? I want to join Keller Williams. They have this big brand name and it's going to help me be successful. That's something that they pitch to everybody. And guess what? 6 months later, he's out of the business because he saw that once you join this Keller Williams brand or whatever brokerage, all brokerages, it's not the brokerage that's going to make you successful. It's going to be you doing the things that you need to do to be successful. So make sure you know that it's not who you're joining. It's going to be ultimately up to you. Now, of course, there's different places that you join that you will get more mentorship, you will get more guidance and more help. Definitely yes. But you need to be able to take that help and put it into action. The next point is more of a positive note, which is that you can make a lot of money. My first time that I failed and I came back into the business, all I wanted to do was to cap, which means I wanted to make around $70,000. I made $130 something thousand. And to me, that was just like mind boggling because on the first year of real estate, I was able to make way more money than I would have with my finance degree, which is crazy to say. Real estate gives you the opportunity to grow as big as you can. But again, like I talked about earlier, it depends on you and the action that you take to build your business. But if you take the action and you are always learning, you're always trying to grow and hustle, but you can grow to whatever heights you want. You can build a team, you can build a brokerage, you can join a brokerage, you can recruit, you can do so many things in real estate. And honestly, real estate really ruins a lot of things for you as far as making money because you can help somebody buy a house and make $10,000. And you know, if you look back, you maybe worked 5 to 10 hours, maybe, right? And that's really pushing it. But somebody that works 5 to 10 hours somewhere else makes maybe a couple $100s. Now, of course, you know, you probably work 3 months to lead generate and get all these clients. Now you work that 5 to 10 hours per client and you really put a couple $100 in. But once you get that lead generation and those clients coming in, it's almost like you don't want to do anything else because there's so much possibility with real estate that you can grow as high as you want or stay in certain areas once you get to a certain point. The next point is that there is just so much to learn in real estate. People always complain about why do we pay agents so much money and, you know, just for us to sign documents or for us to write documents, but they don't understand that the knowledge that you have with contracts, with negotiating, with inspections, with appraisers, with lenders, so on is mind-boggling. I'm about 2.5, almost 3 years in after failing 10 months, right? So maybe 4 years in at this point, and I still learn stuff every single day. I have friends that are in the business 5, 10, 15 years, and they still learn every day because you can always get better at negotiating. You can always get better at lead generating. You can always get better at business and sales. And there's just so many aspects of the business that's not even real estate related that you have to learn. So you have to learn accounting and finance and marketing and HR if you're going to start hiring people. You know, you need to start getting a space, an office if you need to have a team. If you don't want to have a team, how are you going to grow your business? There's just so many things that you can learn. Whereas when you work at 9 to 5, let's say you're in marketing or finance like I was, you just have this one task or this one skill that you can get really good at. But over here, you have so much to do and so much to learn that's not even just real estate, but just business in general, that you always have things to learn. You can always get better. So expect that you're going to be in an industry that you always have to learn. You always have to grow. And for a lot of people, that's a plus. And for a lot of people, that's not something that they're into. The next thing I want to discuss is emotional intelligence. I believe that emotional intelligence is one of the most important things as an agent that you need to learn and that you need to grow in, because real estate itself is easy. You see a house, you put in an offer, you follow the contract and everything that it states, you buy the house. What's hard is the emotional toll that it takes on you, the agent, but also either your buyer or your seller. And that's where, you know, emotional intelligence comes into play. The agents that I've seen that are the best in the industry, they are really good with dealing with those emotions and helping clients through those kind of experiences where they're kind of going crazy. Because you have to think about it, a lot of people spending $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 on a house is the biggest purchase that they're ever going to do. And for us, you know, we do contracts all the time, so it's not a big deal. But when a client needs to read through the contracts or they're deciding whether to push forward after the inspection showed an issue, for them it's a big deal. So you have to be able to have the emotional intelligence to guide your clients through everything and have a level head throughout the whole process, which is very hard for a lot of people to do. Another thing I want to discuss, or maybe it's a tip, is that if you want to be big and you want to be a great agent, you have to act with speed and urgency. And when you're not busy and you're new, or maybe you're not new and you're not busy, it's very easy when somebody shoots you a text or an email, you just pick up the phone and give them a call. But it's very hard when you start to become busy and you're inundated with so many things coming at you that you start to, well, I'll do that tomorrow. I can write the contract later on. But if you keep up with that speed and urgency, that's when you're going to be more successful, because that's when people see that there's value in what you're trying to give them, right? Because again, you might have 10 clients, but to that one client, you're their only agent. So you have to know that if they need something, if you need to write a contract, you need to be able to give them speed and urgency. Now, are there boundaries? Of course there's boundaries. You know, if it's at a certain time and for you need to spend time with your family or your kids, and you set that boundaries with the buyer or seller, again, it comes back to expectations. Setting that expectation on the front end, then you need to set those boundaries and those expectations and make sure that, you know, they're okay with that. And that's how you build your business. But for the most part, speed and urgency is very important. And I see a lot of agents that start to get somewhat successful or start to get really busy, and their speed and their urgency goes down, and then slowly their clients start to see that, and then their leads and their clients kind of go away, and then they start back with the speed and urgency. So it's almost speed and urgency, kind of lackadaisical, speed and urgency. If you can keep that speed and urgency going up, your business is also going to follow going up. The last thing I want to mention is that right now it's hard to be an agent. Right? It's not as easy as it was in COVID, where everybody was buying a house and you could just get anybody and just write a contract, see, like, throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and see what sticks. Right now, it's very hard to be an agent. A lot of good agents during the COVID time either have left the business, or they're getting side jobs, or they're selling things because they don't have business, or there's big teams that, you know, things that they were doing before is not working right now. But something that I will mention is that even though it's a really hard time to be an agent, it's also a great time to be an agent, because if you can build your business and have a good foundation now when it's hard, when things get easier, which they will inevitably will, because that's how the market goes. It's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold. When things get better, you're going to be poised and positioned to go up with the market. So it's very hard to be an agent now. You have to do a lot more than what people did in the past. You have to truly be a professional. But if you can be that professional now, you're going to be able to take your business far when things get better. Well, that's today's video, guys. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions, give you some value. If you have any other questions, put them down in the comments below. And if I can help you out with anything else, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Until next time, take care and God bless.